The most basic thing is ChatGPT, or you can just use any LLM that you want. I mean, right now the most popular ones are Claude, Perplexity, Gemini, and OpenAI. I like to use OpenAI just because I like the fact that later on I can customize my own GPTs, and it also I can have a lot of the memory saved here. Again, really every kind of LLM has its own advantage and disadvantage, but I like to use ChatGPT, so feel free to use whichever works for you for your workflow. I think right now OpenAI, Gemini are great for that, especially now that OpenAI, ChatGPT has its own image generation that it has improved a lot, so that helps a lot. So a little bit on the workflow. Again, there's many ways to do a workflow, but the way I like to do my workflow is in the following here. So I'm gonna show you a case study on an image I created not too long ago, and it was so this is the final image I want to show you. This is the image I created in with the help of course 3D modeling, but with the help of AI, and I based that image out of this image here. So this is the image I created in MidJourney, and I'll show you how to create an image, not this one, but some like what was my workflow to create an image like this, and then how I was able to kind of get it close and kind of give it my own style. Because remember, at the end of the day, you don't want AI to be the designer, you want AI to be helping you with ideas. So the AI is the assistant, but you are the one who makes the design decisions. You are the one that actually has this, the steering wheel, on there. But the AI is great to give you ideas of what it could be. So also, a lot of times when it looks great to the AI, and that's why you want to take advantage of these tools like MidJourney, OpenAI, ChatGPT, because these tools are trained with a lot of images. So they have been able to put together a great atmospheric environment that looks appealing to the eye. So a lot of times, I don't say you have to replicate it. It's always better to replicate actual photographs, just because in that way you can get a real sense of how the material acts. Whereas MidJourney and all those, or any other 3D, any other like image based on a 3D artist, could not have the right way of how the material actually reflects on stuff. It's more like fantasy, whereas when you are looking at the reference from a picture, you know that that's how the material acts. But anyhow, I just use it for the architectural ideas. So a way that I was able to get this result is, the first thing you need to do is and this is if you didn't even have like an LLM, right? Like you start with a sketch, or you start by looking at things. So in this particular case, I'm gonna say that I start by looking at things. So I also have a lot of sketches that actually have something similar to that, but I also start sometimes with an image, right? So sometimes there's an architect, or there's a building that inspired me, that I would like to kind of get a little bit more idea of how can I design something not similar, but something with kind of the same sense, right? So it's not that different that whenever you design something, it comes from your memory. So whenever you're trying to design something, really your memory is grabbing everything that you have learned and everything that you have experienced, and try to put it together in paper to create your own idea. So that's not that different of what you are doing right now with images. So you're trying to get inspired to kind of come memory to what is something that inspire you, or what's something like you have a specific building or emotion that you want to create from that building. Your brain starts kind of thinking, what is a building, or what is a design, or where is like a figure or something that made me feel this way, and how can I replicate that? So, and because architects were very sometimes not really like into writing, they were more visual. This really helps us to kind of put together an image into words. So for this particular case, I really like this building here at Livingston, and I kind of want to get a sense of the angularity, and I was kind of like, but I also kind of wanted to make it a little bit more organic, right? Not too sharp. So I remember I was grabbing this image, and a way you can do it is like, so for instance, if I like this image and you like the sense of a specific image, and it could be a sculpture, it could be anything you want to, you can copy that image and then come here. With this, you can upload an image here. And I'm not gonna show you right now the case, but for instance here, you can just upload any image you would like. So for instance, if I got that image, right, you can upload the image here and just ask the LLM to act as an architect, right, as an architect, and describe the image in a prompt, right? So within this, it will start describing, and then from there, at least it will give you a good base of where you can start describing. So from here, you will go ahead, read this, edit it, just make sure that it's kind of what you want to represent as far as the feeling and as far as the design of the building. You want to, you know, you can come here and edit it, change the material, change, maybe you don't want it to be futuristic necessarily. So you can go ahead and edit it however you want to. And then from there, what I would suggest you, here's the second tool. So the first tool is ChatGPT, or an LLM that can actually has a lot of information, that it's good at describing images. The ones that I recommend, and you don't even need an LLM necessarily, like right now, for instance, you have MidJourney and almost any other tool like Kriya, MidJourney, and these tools, you automatically upload an image and it will actually describe the image for you without me having to even prompt it. The reason I like ChatGPT is because it allows me to have a record here, and now that it has this image generation with this new version, it allows me to create really good images. But I still like to, just to show you the workflow, you can either use OpenAI. In this case, just to show you the workflow right now, I use ChatGPT, I use MidJourney. So with MidJourney, so once I had the prompt in here, I copy, you know, I edited it, then I copy paste it on here, right? I copy paste it on create, right? And then, you know, boom, and then you click generate, and then you can kind of give it your the aspect ratio that you want. Again, this is not really for me to show you in depth the tools. This is more for me to just give you an overview. What I think are the best tools out there that can enhance your workflow. I can make you achieve those photorealistic images. But first, we start with the ideas, right? And if you already have a building in place, that's fine. But this is also for a different workflow where you are actually don't have ideas and you're starting out from scratch and you want to generate ideas. You can do this. And guys, this is not just for this, right? Like you can, okay, how do I, okay, this is also for things like if I go to my organize, because a lot of you guys might be thinking, well, this is just for parametric stuff, but it's not really just for parametric stuff. I've done like houses like this, right, where you really just need an idea of the design. So just don't think that it's just for these Zaha Hadid Living Sky buildings. No, I mean it could be just for any other day buildings here that you just want to start with a solid idea or foundation or kind of what to create.